Today, I'll guide you through the tutorial of Max's automatic stride correction tool. First, let's open the pin feed animation panel. The panel looks like this. Let's take a look at this animation. This animation involves a stride. Let's inspect the left foot. When it touches the ground, it slides backward a bit. The right foot is jittery. Whenever it lands, it shakes, simulating a jittery motion. Let's emulate a similar jitter. Now, let's open this panel. First, let me introduce these two boxes. They mark the display of the left and right feet. After selecting the left bone, click the Mark button. It will mark its name there. Now, let's mark the right foot. This indicates that we want to correct these two feet. First, let's try a manual approach. Judge the stride frames manually. Right here, you can set the first two boxes. Set the start and end frames when it starts sliding and when it finishes. Now, let's look at the left foot. It's this one. Let's find the frame where it touches the ground, indicating the start, so it's the 7th or 6th frame. Okay, write 7 here. After that, when it leaves the ground, around 10 or 11 frames. Write 10. Click Set. The segment with the specified time frames will appear here. Let's move forward a bit more, because there won't be only this time frame. It's the ground contact. Later on, we find around frame 26 or 27. It's contacting the ground. Around frame 30 or 31, it's ending. Okay, it's approximately these two time frames, where it contacts the ground and slides. We'll focus on this time frame to keep its foot grounded and prevent sliding. Now let's look at the right foot. The right foot probably makes contact with the ground around frame 15 or 16. Then it starts erratic movement. Yes, around frame 20 or 21, it leaves the ground. Write 21 frames here. Here, write 21 frames. Okay, after marking, you can also delete these frame numbers. If you feel it's not right, you can set it again. Okay, here, there's a concept of slow in. It's the concept of easing in and out. It will mark a frame about 3 frames before and after the frames you marked. Marking one frame. It's the current action. Make the transition more natural, so there won't be a sudden liftoff from the ground, or suddenly stepping on the ground, because it recognized the previous action. It will be smoother. Let's try it now. Now, let's try clicking on Start. It will start the automatic calculation, and it will start keeping the feet grounded based on the marked time frames. Now you can see that previously it was erratic. It starts from frame 15, 16 frames in, ends at frame 21. Exactly 3 frames before and after. It respectively marked a frame. Just picking up a frame from the previous animation, you can see the red line, which is the position of the previous animation. It has been locked down. No more erratic flashing as before. It's settled, not flashing around like before. Our animation will be in this panel. BIP's animation will create a BIP animation layer. On this layer, there will be an account, animation layer, and K animation layer. We will move all the animations to this animation layer. We won't destroy the original animation. We just added an animation layer. preventing sliding. All animations will be created here. We will read how many layers there are each time. Create a new layer. Create animation without affecting your previous animations. Now, let's look at the left foot. Left foot is also no more sliding. The transition is smoother. Normal in the later part. Everything is normal. Okay, this is the manual situation. Now, let's move on to automatic recognition. Automatic recognition involves a concept, marking the ground. Now, let's delete this animation. Mark a ground. This ground is a box I drew before. Just enlarge it. Our actual method is to consider this box as the ground at the moment when the foot touches the ground. Because it's sliding, now we mark the ground for it. Right at the moment of touching the ground, place this box at a height similar to the foot. Now, it means that it intersects with the ground. It starts sliding. Similar to when we marked it manually before, we marked the sliding time, the sliding period. It means it will slide at this moment, just at this moment. It intersects with the foot and slides. When it leaves, it's also around 10 frames. The same goes for the front, around frame 17, or frame 16 when it intersects with the ground. It leaves by detecting the time the foot touches the ground. We can automatically recognize when it starts sliding and when it leaves the ground. This way, we move the ground to the corresponding position at frames 16 and 17 when it touches the ground. It keeps touching the ground, whether it's sliding or flickering. It's always in contact with the ground, representing that it's sliding. We can even delete this time period. Just mark its left and right foot. There's a concept of in and out here. Let's ignore that for now. After marking the ground, just click out, and it starts calculating automatically. Now we see its feet are fixed to the ground. No sliding. You can see that red line. It's a demonstration of the animation on the layer above. It stays fixed to the ground. Including its left foot. It's almost the same as before. Manually marked frame numbers. From frame 6 to frame 10. From frame 26 to frame 30. Now, let's explain the concept of in and out. First, you can set them all to 0. We'll recalculate later. This time, you can see, originally, slow in is about 3 frames before and after. But why is it starting from frame 16 now? Because during automatic calculation, it starts to recognize it. It will start calculating from there. Starting frame, the frame before it, also set to frame 17 with the same action. So here, you can see, one frame is also keyed. Actually, what it recognized is, from frame 17 to frame 20, the previous 16 frames are copies of the action at frame 17, its position, so it will be missing one frame. Look at 23 and 20 later. There's a gap of 3 frames in between, because during automatic calculation, to make it more natural, I copied a frame for it. The meaning of in-out is, for example, if it recognizes frames 17 to 20. If we add 2 here, and 1 at the end, then it will start from frame 18, but still end at frame 20. Originally, it was supposed to be from frame 16 to 19, because previously we defaulted to 1 second. So it would go from frame 17 to 20. Now let's try changing it. Delete this animation section. After deleting, Let's recalculate and see the result. Now let's mark it again. Oops, wrong click. Let's click this out. Now let's see the animation for the right foot. Now it starts from frame 17 and ends at frame 20. It has moved one frame forward. Originally, it started from frame 16. The rest hasn't changed because it moved one frame forward before to frame 20. Now, let's change it to 3. Let's recalculate. Now it starts from frame 18 and ends at frame 20. Now you can see it says it starts from frame 18 and ends at 20. It has moved 3 frames backward. That is, its start and end frames when it touches the ground. Now you will see there is an issue with the animation. So let's change it back to 1 and 1. It is when it touches the ground. Move 1 frame forward to make contact. At the end, also move 1 frame forward. It will go back to frames 16 to 20. So, in general, there's no need to change it. Don't change it. This 1 and 1 is correct. The main purpose is to prevent. For example, if the frame where you make contact has a wrong angle, like this raised foot, you move 1 frame forward or backward to find a good ground pose. By default, it's 1 and 1, so there's no need to change it. That's about it for the functionality. Thank you, everyone.